Happy Friday! Thanks for joining me here tonight. We are going to finish up our Changing Seasons block. So we have a pretty nice block going here already, but we are going to add these little applique pieces to the four sides right here, and it's just going to look so pretty. We are doing kind of a weird way of appliquing. We're doing it where we turn the piece right side out, like sew it onto a back, turn it right side out, and I'm going to machine stitch it on. Normally you could hand stitch this on and have it look like needle turn applique, but we're using the machine. Let's get this done quick. That's what I'm thinking. So thank you guys for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time where we can relax and craft together. And I'm here for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end so you can be part of the process along the way. So thank you guys again for joining me. Let's get this block done. If we get it done a little bit early, I think we'll do a little bit more improv piecing with some of my scraps. That is just a nice, relaxing thing to do. Perfect for a late Friday here. So thanks again, guys. Let's get going. Okay, so here are all our tiny little applique pieces. And they go in the corners here. I think we'll go like this way with the leaf or the flower on the inside. These two we kind of fussy cut. I think we'll go like this. I kind of like this kind of layout for it. I do need to press these still, and I'm going to do that and also try to push the seam out as I go so I can get like that nice curved edge to it. So let's see if we can do that. Oh, Colleen got her block of the month kit today. Nice. Oh, yes. So Gretchen's asking about snow. Well, this morning, it did snow. We had some weather today here. So I had a morning meeting with, just on like Google Hangouts or Zoom with Jenna, who helps me out. And we were just having our morning meeting, and she's like, oh, it's kind of dark outside. And I opened my shade, which is just kind of closed next to me here. And I opened it because I was talking to her right here. I have a window right there. And it was full snowing. The ground was covered. We had snowflakes like this big. I'm telling you, the biggest snowflakes. And I yelled for John to come look, and it was crazy. So we did have some snow. It's all gone now. It lasted, longer than I thought it would, though. It's still warm enough that it's just going to melt right away. But then later in the day, like a little later that morning, I was looking outside and I'm like, oh, the sun's out now. But then I got up and looked outside and I could see it was like pitch black a little further down and like a little north. And then about 2 minutes later, it started to basically sleet, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with this type of precipitation. It's not quite sleet, it's not quite hail, it's not quite snow, it's definitely not rain, but it's these little white pellets. It almost looks like styrofoam falling from the sky. It's a solid. It doesn't seem super wet. It's like a dry sleet almost. So that happened, but we could see it hit the roof of our garage, and it's solid. It's like these little tiny pellets almost, so they were kind of just rolling off of the roof. It was just so goofy. So we had that for a little while, and then it was bright and sunny again. It was funny. It wasn't hail, Gretchen. It was, technically, I don't know, scientifically maybe it would be hail, but it's different. It was different than your normal hail. It was like those little white styrofoam pellets almost. So Lynn's saying those white pellets are called grapple? Am I saying that right? Like grapple? Like gravel? Grapple? I have never heard that before. Is that really what it's called? I'm Googling that immediately when we're done here. Grapple? Yeah, so anyway, that's what we had. Oh, Pamela said we called them mini snowball Barbie size when I was young. Oh, for silly. That is funny. All right, you guys, we got that one flattened. So here's the difference. Here's one that we didn't press yet. You know, it's still super poofy. And then here's one where I was pushing out the edges, trying to get that nice curve. You know, it's nice and flat now. So next I'm going to sew this around the edge. Maybe I'll even glue it down, just to, just glue it, little dabs of glue on the background here. You're never gonna see the glue stick to anything because it's just on this background. It won't be on the front at all. So it'll still look like it's floating, but I might actually glue it down as the quickest way to baste. And then I'm machine sewing around the edge. Would be a great opportunity now to hand stitch around the edge, and it would look like perfect needle turn applique, but I'm going for speed. We're just gonna stitch around there. So anyway, let's just quickly press the rest of these. I would love to try that yo-yo technique for one of these before the end of the night. So just to try that technique for an applique of something similar to this. I like that idea yet. I'm kind of going backwards than how I did before. I'm just taking this hemostat thing and just trying to push out that seam there, so that seam is like fully down to where it's sewn, so it's not folding back in on itself. And then I'm just trying to capture it quick with the iron. But this is helping me push it out a little bit. There, I think that side looks decent. Just to get that curve. Okay, I gotta read that now. Oh, my mom looked it up. Okay, my mom looked it up. Grapple. Graupel. Ooh, it's German. Also called soft hail. Ooh, see, that's what it's like. Soft hail or snow pellets is precipitation that forms when supercooled water droplets are collected and freeze on falling snowflakes? That's cool. Forming 2 to 5 millimeter balls. Balls of what? Balls of rime? What the heck does that mean? All right, I'm going to have to look at the rest of that later because it says on mine see more and I can't do that right now, but interesting. So precipitation that forms when supercooled water droplets are collected and freeze on falling snowflakes. That's crazy. So you have to have both the snowflakes and the kind of rain at the same time. Yeah, I was saying to Jenna earlier that it just really wanted to rain today and couldn't quite do it, is what it felt like. It tried and tried, but it could never be rain. Grapple. That's... Oh, rime is frost? Okay, geez, I'm learning all the new, the winter vocabulary. This is the vocabulary I should have had from the get-go, growing up in Wisconsin. Sheesh. Grapple and rime. That's fascinating. Okay, rime and grapple. I'm going to have to remember both of those. I just want this curve to go out a little bit more, so I'm just trying to manipulate it a little bit. I don't know if I'm really getting it. But again, I think this is pretty much good enough. Let's move on. Colleen says, we don't get that here on the left coast. Yeah, maybe up north. But probably rarely. John's parents just moved from California, and their dogs have never seen winter, and now they're in the Midwest. So they're from the Midwest, but The dogs aren't. Dogs are California dogs, so that'll be interesting to see how they take once it really starts snowing. Jenna says grapple sounds like something to drink. It does. Sounds like Snapple, that's why. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. Grapple, but I'm going to pretend I am. If I say it enough and everyone starts saying it that way, then that's how it's pronounced, right? I've never heard that word ever before. That's crazy. Newscasters, like those meteorologists and stuff on the news, you think they'd jump at all that fun language. Alright. Well, I think this is plenty good. There's going to be like little indents here and there. You know, we're going to have a little bloop here. It's not going to be like a perfect arc the whole way, but who cares? I think we're pretty close, and it's going to look pretty dang cute still, I think. So let's get to sewing these, but first I think I am going to grab the glue, just a little glue stick, and we will glue it on. So I think I had them, I kind of like these flowers, like the big flowers at the north and south of this. I think I like it pointing up. I'm declaring that this is the top. I mean, we'll have to remember how we did it in, like when we put it in the quilt. Okay, so one thing I'm just thinking right now that I have to remember is that I don't want to center, I don't want to center it within this square. I'm going to get down here a little bit more so you guys can see. But I'm not going to center it within the rectangle because, remember, we're going to lose 1/4 of an inch. So I got to kind of imagine 1/4 inch gone. We're going to lose 1/4 of an inch because we have to sew it into the quilt yet. And, so that's why we're going to lose 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to kind of center it, just kind of guess. So about like that, maybe. Yeah. So we're going to do all of them kind of like this. So then once it's sewn, it will be relatively centered. Ugh, look at all this gobs of gook here. So, but up and down, we're going to center it. I think, does that look good? Yeah. All right, so I was going to put my finger on there. Let's just put a dab of glue, I'm just putting it on that muslin, that back fabric, because I don't want to get it on any of the front fabric because I don't want it to look like we glued down fabric. Like, I don't want that like stuck to the surface look. But if I stick to just that muslin, it's going to stay poofed up. So, all right, I think we're going to just do all of these all at once. I think this glue is strong enough to stay there. So I'm just going to keep rotating. That was kind of a decent hand position here. So lose the 1/4 of an inch. I think about like that looks pretty good. Yeah, exactly, Kay. Kay says closer to the center square. Exactly. Yeah, because if I would have just centered it, we might have actually, like this right now, it looks almost centered within the shape, but we're not even 1/4 of an inch away, so I would have lost that corner after sewing it into the quilt. So I don't want that to happen. So I need at least 1/4 inch there because I don't want to lose these little tips of these guys. Okay, let's do this one. This one's actually feels a little bit bigger than the others. Okay, there's about that 1/4 inch. We're going to sneak it up right in there. Okay, I think that's good. Ooh, next week, you guys, we get to do some embroidery. That'll be nice. So we're doing all this machine stitching stuff, and then we get to take a break and do some embroidery. That'll be nice. Okay, that is 3. This is a bit wonky. I wonder if I can tuck in this. It's got like this little point going on here. I'm going to just tuck it in a little bit and see if that helps. I need something sharper. I'm going to use the stiletto actually. You see this kind of point? I'm just trying to tuck it in. Or, you know, the other thing I could do is try and pull the rest of it out a little bit. That's probably what should really happen. I didn't press it all that well, I guess. All right. Well, we're just going to leave it. I think I had this growing like this. Yeah. Okay, lose. I'm just putting my finger like, I'm imagining I'm losing 1/4 of an inch there. So my finger's covering up that 1/4 of an inch, and there. I think that looks right. All right. Glue that on. So I might be able to see a little bit of the edge of like the back of the piece. Like I might be able to see some of this, but I don't care. That's why in theory the better way of doing this would be to hand stitch it down, because it's going to have that exact needle turn look to it. And I would just stitch in the top fabric and then pull it over the seam a little bit, because then I won't ever see that background fabric. I would have been pulling the front fabric over it. So that's how you can, you know, get that needle turn look. But we're going for speed, and I'm just going to sew it with the machine. But it's looking so pretty. I think this is just turning out just great. This is the first block that I've used lots of different colors. Usually I just pick one, and that's only every 5 blocks I pick a colorful one to use in the block versus just the like creams and yellows. But this one I have a whole pile, and I think it's just the right one for it. It's still subtle. I think it's not crazy bright, but ugh, it's good. This would be a beautiful quilt. Like if you blew this up large, and this was the whole quilt, that would just be really fun too. All right, let's sew this down. So I think for this, the best way to do it is going to be without a leader. So I'm going to take this off. I think this is my 5 that I need for this anyway. Scissors, there you are. Yeah, so we got our row 5 here. Man, we're going to have enough of those to sew together soon here. All right, so I'm going to do that thing where I don't back tack, and I'm going to pull the threads to the back when I'm done, so I have that nice look where you don't know where it starts and finish. And sorry, dudes, you are leaving too. You are going to be in my way. There we go. Nice flat surface now. All right, and I think we'll just start right there. I'm going to use the edge of the inside of this foot here. I'm going to use that as my edge again. I'm going to just kind of let that ride along here, and then my stitches will be like super duper close to the edge. All right, let's go. Ooh, I'm going to reduce my stitch length as well. So I have like these smaller little stitches, and I think stiletto is going to help me out here a little bit. So I'm paying close attention to keep the fabric right along this foot. I don't want to veer off because I might miss a stitch then. I'm so close to the edge that I want to just stay on. And I think that's the last stitch. Okay, I'm going to lift up and pivot. I could have probably got one more out of there. So we're going to get ourselves towards that edge again. Ugh, it's already looking so good stitched down. It looks like every step, it just makes it look more and more finished. Ooh, I'm going to have to help this along a little bit. I have to yank it a little bit. Come on, little guy. There. It had a lot of bulk and it didn't want to move there, especially with my little stitches. right, let's pivot again. And just about back to the beginning, about halfway through here. Ugh, okay, it's hitting the foot and not wanting to go, so I'm just going to help it along. I'm just kind of pulling from the back. There we go. Now we should be good. Come on. There, now it's moving. Okay, there's our first one. So let's tie the back again. So here we go. Looking nice. I mean, look how much more finished it looks than all the other ones. I think that's just kind of fun. So I'm trusting this glue. It's usually pretty good. All right, so let's flip it to the back. And I'm going to pull those front threads to the back by just pulling on the back two threads. And then I'm going to just kind of, where it pulls, when I pull on one of these, a loop comes up, and I'm going to just pull that loop, and that should be bringing the front thread to the back. So that's one. I can't find the other one. So I'm going to, there's just one left here. I'm going to pull on that just to see which thread moves. Ugh, I don't know. The stitches are so small, I can't really see. All right, that I think pulled one up. Did I get it? Yep, all right, good. So I'm just going to try and split these in half so I have two on one side and two on the other, and we'll just tie it in a little knot. And this is just so on the front, you won't be able to tell where you started and stopped. If I would have back tacked, then you would be able to, you'd be able to see all those extra stitches. This way you don't see those extra stitches. All right, let's snip that and we'll take a look at it. Wow, yeah, those stitches are maybe a little bit small. I'll probably make them a little bit bigger, although it was really easy to stitch with it that small. Yeah, I can't tell on here where I started and stopped, so that's good. A little wonky, but I'm okay with it. It's looking awfully cute, I think. All right, let's just keep going around. You know, really, you could be changing your thread color if you really wanted to match the, because we are top stitching, it is a visible stitch where you can see it just on the top of the fabric. So you could be more creative with it. I'm just using my same color, like neutral thread. Kind of goes with everything. But you could match it with like this nice pretty pink, or match it with a blue. Or even do like like put orange on the blue or something, you know? Then it'd be really contrasty. But I'm letting that be. I'm just gonna keep with my neutral color. Call it a day. Kind of starting on one of the easy arcs. I'm not starting at a point or anything, just because I think it'll be easier to get going and stop. Okay, I am going to make the stitch length a hair bigger. I am going to get the stiletto again too to help me hold things down. Alright, through that point. Ooh, yeah, see, that's a lot of fabric. That's going to be a little tricky. Fabric's getting stuck on the back of the foot because it's so fat. Alright, come on. Alright, I kind of have to yank it through there. Let's readjust now. Should be good now. There we go. Sheesh. Didn't think that was going to be an issue. I got a little jumbled up on the end there, but oh well. Doing the best we can. Okay, one more stitch. Okay, let's see if I can, there, I was able to, I grabbed the edge, like I went like this. I grabbed the edge of it with my stiletto and kind of pulled it through as I started stitching, and that got me over that ledge. Okay, so hopefully that helps with the other ones. I'm going to do that same thing with the others. All right, done. All right, let's see. It got wonky on the edge there. That's where I was trying to pull it through, so this was a little silly, but it kind of actually goes with the little leaves that are on there. Oh, it is looking pretty. I keep looking at it in the camera here, and it looks pretty in the camera, I think. All right, pulling those little loops. Okay, there's one. There's the other. That one was easy. That's how it should be. All right, 2. There we are. Next up. It's looking really pretty. I'm loving this one. Ooh, this guy's just having a rough time gripping again every once in a while. My motor pulley. This is actually looking a little funny too. Yeah, we might have to re-thread this again soon. Yeah, we're getting caught up on something here. Tension seems a little goofy. Hold on. Alright, let's see how this does. Maybe we get one more. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to grab this point with the stiletto again and try and force it through. Ugh, that worked. Okay, good. I think that's about it. Let's turn. Alright, that's it. Let's do one more stitch. There we go. Alright, let's snip. Ugh, it's looking so cute. So here's the 3 we have done. They're nice and flat, and this guy's still kind of floating up top there. Let's pull these threads through. We're gonna finish this guy up. That's exciting. It's always nice when it's a 2 finished week, a 2 block finish week. This one actually went a lot quicker than I thought. I mean, we are doing a faster form of applique, I suppose, than needle turn. So that's why, but it's fun to have a couple finishes. Okay. Wind around there. Okay, I keep going like this. I have my scrap pile sitting over here, here yet. Okay, one left. Maybe I can try and tuck this in a little bit as I sew. We'll see. Let's start right there again. Get in there. There, I think that's the last one. Here's kind of where I wanted to tuck in. We'll see if that worked. I have no idea. So if you were doing this by hand, you would have a lot more control, I think, too, because each stitch, I mean, you know, I could go slower or just be a better sewer, but like each stitch with hand sewing, you can really, really control, because you're going basically in slow motion, one at a time. All right, that looks good. I did kind of pull it right here, so it's kind of skipped a stitch a little bit. Let's see if I can pull that from the back a little bit. Oh yeah, I got all tangled. See, that's the thing. I think I think I might have to rethread the machine before I work on it again. It's like catching stuff funny, but I'm not going to worry about it. I think once we have everything quilted, it's going to all hold in place. There it is. Yep, got them. Okay, we are done. So I didn't quite get rid of that little bump, but ooh, these little flowers are looking so cute in here. I'm glad we went ahead and fussy cut those. All right, loving it. And I love how subtle the background is yet. So here again is the example, which again is pretty subtle like mine, like kind of neutral colors. I always think it's so interesting though how different fabrics look in the same pattern. It's just so interesting. I love it. But yeah, I think with the white corners here, we really do have that plus sign going. I love it. I think it's just so dang cute. All right, you guys, we got two blocks done. We got this guy, and where did my other one go? Here he is. So we got both of these blocks done this week, and using very similar processes. Like this one, we also did that technique of applique where we turn it right side out and then stitch it down, and we even did like the reverse applique that way. That was kind of new for me. That was fun. Yeah, 2 blocks. I'm digging it. Awesome. So I think you guys, now let's why don't we do some of the, bear with me here, some improv piecing. We got like 20 minutes or so to play around here yet. Also before I forget, it's sitting here. This is our embroidery that we're going to be doing next week. I think it's just subtle, pretty, but it also has that little spider and spider web on there and on the black, so it's still Halloween-y. But I think if you didn't want to do the spider web or the spider, it would be just like a really pretty, delicate, kind of like rose bouquet. I am going to stitch it on a light colored fabric because then I'll have more of the black bundles if you still want a bundle. The bundle comes with all the floss and this pretty black Kona solid fabric here. But I want to see what the same colors look like on a light colored fabric, so I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, so this will be next week. And just looking for my improv pieces here. All right, we were kind of sewing together over the past few days the kind of remaining pieces from all the stuff that we cut off of the granny square quilt. And we kind of divided it up, and like these are the pieces that have 6 in, and I've just been sewing those together because why not? We already sewed the 5 pieces, the 3, 4. We got the 2s going here yet. All right, so let's just sew it in that order. And we got to start on the 2s. I'm just having a good time sewing one piece of fabric to another. That's what's nice. I am going to kind of equalize these out, though, I think. You know what? I'm going to get the big old scissors again, too, for some nice big cuts. I'm just trying to make this edge straight. I think this is a relaxing way to end the weekend. End the week, I should say. Start the weekend. Oh, they look like mosaics, don't they? Oh, that's a good way of thinking about it, Kathy. I totally agree. All right, let's finish these 2s. So I'm just sewing more on top of each other. Let's get another leader on here though, to get that going again. Kind of working on this project too at the same time. Oh, I'm like, why is it going so slow? Because we have our stitch length pretty low yet. There, that feels better. So I'm just kind of putting these together any which way. I'd love to sew these together in a bigger piece tonight. That would be kind of fun. All of these pieces. All right, and I think we'll just get these 2 together. I think we'll just start one of the rows of 6 until we can get this off the machine. Oh my god, that's going to be so skinny. I think it's going to be like this big once I have it sewn to somewhere else, that last one, if I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. This really is just garbage. Basically, we would have just thrown this away, and I did. I threw away all the other pieces that were like this from all the other blocks we made. I wish I kept them all. I don't know. Do I wish I kept them all? There's something to be said for just ending a project by throwing it out, too. Like, that feels almost just as good. It feels just as finished sometimes as actually finishing a project. So, I don't know. I would have gotten nervous about having more. And look, I think we ran out of bobbin, and maybe that's why this felt all weird. Like, it felt like the thread was getting all wrapped up kind of funny, and I wonder if that's why. Luckily, I did wind more bobbin right away. Yep, we're out. Oh gosh, look how fuzzy it is. I think we'll do just a quick brush out I won't take it all apart right now, but let's just see if we can brush a little bit of the fuzzles out of here. Oh yeah, fuzzles, fuzzle, fuzzle, fuzzle. All right, good enough. All right, let's get another bobbin in here. So I did not wind these bobbins on this machine. I wound it on my other machine where it's actually it's a different size bobbin, so I kind of had to hold them down in a weird way. It wasn't the easiest thing to do to wind these. And they weren't all consistent really either. Like some parts of the bobbin were wider than the others. But I think it was better than winding it on here, where it just really makes the pulley wheel, the motor pulley, just get so smooth that it won't turn the bigger wheel. Or that has been the case. So I need a solution for that yet. Someone mentioned maybe putting some of the, if it gets too smooth, putting some of the thread conditioner on it. I wonder if that would work. I'm kind of curious about that. All right, back at it. But actually, let's just snip our other pieces off right away. Just start about here. Ooh, see, it is still smooth. It's still not connecting with that wheel very much. Okay. We're in business again. All right, let's snip the leader off. And the scrap thread. So I think this has got 5 on already too. Yep, all right, we got another row done for that. We should sew those together at some point too. All right, and then here's back to the 2s. Now it's off the machine. I can plop it on here. Ooh, that's so little. Let's do that one first. We're just gonna have a sliver right there. Gosh, I think I even have to like press this open a little bit with my fingers, just so that other one stays out of the way. Oh gosh, it's like right up against the other seam allowance, or the seam. All right, there we go. Let's just sew 2 more of these 6ers together. And we got 2 more 6ers. These ones are going to end up super duper skinny too, I think. Then we'll press well, let's just finish these 6s while I'm here, and then we'll press the 2s and the 6s, and then we'll see if there's any logical way to combine all of these together, because that'd be pretty cool. It'd be fun to do that yet. Make a little square or rectangle of all of these leftovers. All right, let's get these, start snipping. We can put these 2 6s together. Here's our 2s. I just want to peek at how skinny that piece is. Oh, there, that's a little sliver stuck in there. That's kind of fun though, holy cow. It's a lot of seam allowance on the back of there. Oh, here's these guys. Let's get rid of those. Oh gosh, Gina, you're right. Gina's saying there will be a lot of bulk to quilt through. Yes, for this for sure. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to use this for yet. I'm just sewing it together, but you're absolutely right. This is going to be a bugger to quilt, because every time you hit like any sort of bump, it's kind of like a little jigger in the quilting, like like stubbing your toe a little bit, I suppose. Um, so I don't know. That might help determine what type of quilting we do on here. Like maybe I just do straight line quilting or something. Just get the walking foot on instead of the free motion foot and just go straight down to the other side. That might be just fine. All right, and I think I'm actually get another leader to start this up because I want to get all of these off the machine before sewing another piece. All right, I got one more piece to sew on here. I'm going to put that little piece on it. It's like collapsing on itself because it's so little. It just wants to roll up. Okay, I gotta work on keeping these seams separated. It probably would have been good to press it, but do it all after. This is just gonna be another sliver too. That's kind of fun though. Yeah, there's definitely some seams on this puppy though. Well, it'll definitely be a little difficult to quilt through in a normal sense. Alright, I'm going to grab 2 more leader blocks here. Gosh, we have so many of these. I still have tons to do. We're going to have oodles of rows of these done. So we can just crank out a pile of more blocks right away. All right. Let's head over here. Get rid of this leader. Okay, get that iron heated up again. This guy could use another press. So I'm hoping like we can connect these somehow, like we can kind of see what fits with what and, snip that off and sew it on somewhere else and see kind of how this goes. We'll get this guy all pressed first. So I'm just kind of pushing all these seams down. It's like little mini art pieces, I feel like, though. Like, look how fun this is. That is just cool. I love that little sliver there. I don't know. Pretty neat. I like it. We'll give all of these a good press again before going too much further. Oh my god, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know if I'm opening these seams up. Oh, I guess I am. They're just so wacky. So this is not going to be perfectly straight. This one we might want to trim so we don't have like a little pucker in there. We'll see. Let's see if I can squish it super duper flat and see how this all fits together. I think that's probably the best I'm going to get it. Look how that looks like a mosaic. That looks like subway tile or something that someone did in all different colors. That'd be pretty fun. Instead of doing like all white subway tile, doing like this as a backsplash or something. That would be so freaking fun. I like that idea. Okay, get this little seam pressed over. This is actually probably a good opportunity to use some starch or something just to really get this held flat. But, I'd rather just move on here. So I'm just kind of seeing how these might fit together. So it looks like if I put this one on, like if I trimmed it to here, you know, we'd lose 1/4 of an inch, so it'd probably be more like here. And then it would be almost the same size as this. I'd trim it off here. Let's do that. So this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to just kind of give myself a little bit of a straight edge here. There we go. And we'll just line it up there. It looks like it's about at that line there. I could have cut this afterwards too, but we'll just do it now. All right. So this piece we'll use somewhere else. Let's just sew this piece to this piece with the assumption that I will sew it to this piece next. And I'm going to take it off the machine. A lot of times when I do this, I'll work on 2 pieces at once so I can just keep something on the machine all the time. But just since I am trying to now construct like this little square or something, a little bit with a plan, I'll just make more leaders. All right. Oop, jeez. Let's get another one of these. All right, we'll give this a good press, and then I think we can try and attach it to there. Ugh, it's looking cool. Squish all them down. All right, so yeah, I think we can get these together. I think I'll sew it together first, and then I'll trim these up so it's nice and clean. So let's just match those. They're like that. It's a little curvy. I'm going to try and equal that out too by going straight. This is going to be another like little sliver, I think. Woo, seam allowance is getting a little bit small there, but I think we'll be okay. Alright, we should have a bigger piece. Ah! Look! It's totally a piece of fabric. We got a square going. We're getting bigger. Kind of have the seam allowances going the other way on that. This is a crazy mess on the back. This was a crazy mess on the front too, but I love it. Little art piece, I feel like. All right, what else can we sew to this? First of all, let's just clean it up a bit. It's easier to maybe visualize if it's a decent square. I mean, we're still kind of at a weird angle here, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. There, that cleaned up a little bit. We are kind of like fanned out a bit, but who cares? Ooh, that's getting there. That's not quite, I mean, these are the same width about. I mean, I suppose they'd all probably be pretty close. Oh, this to this would almost be long enough. Okay, let's do that. So this, what side matches up the most? These are so different, these two sides. I think let's, this one's more at an angle. I think we'll sew these together and then I'll trim that edge so it's more of a more of a straight line and not a curve. Okay. Ugh, fun. I mean, we basically just made it into like a one that has 5 on. We basically made it like, oh, this is a 4 one. There, I guess we just kind of made it long enough to attach to the next piece. Actually, it was a little bit bigger on the one side, so maybe it'll fit well on here. Let's see. Stretch out this bottom. We might have just the right angle that we need. But it's actually kind of the opposite direction. Oh, maybe if we get it on this side, though. Because this one's kind of angling up this way, and so is this piece. So if we put those together, we might end up straight again. That'd be cool. Then we got this guy hanging out yet. But you know what? I did find a few other pieces in the scraps that were from this. So, I mean, this is almost big enough. We could sew a couple of these together and maybe fill in this gap somehow. We'll see. That might be for another time. Let's sew these 2 pieces together, and I'll hang on to those other ones, and I think we'll call it a night at that. So let's match those well enough. All right, we will press this guy and call it an evening, I think. I love it. I do like thinking about it as kind of a fun mosaic piece, though. That is what it reminds me of. Fun. Does the glue ever make the needle sticky? So, you mean like on, okay, so Sharon's asking, does the glue ever make the needle sticky? So on this, I guess I haven't worked on a piece big enough where that becomes a problem. I actually have more of a problem with a sticky needle using the fusible interface. That sometimes I've gotten a sticky needle from, but not from just like this plain like Elmer's type glue, like a water soluble glue. I'm sure there's potential for that, but I think more on that fusible interface will do that more than just the glue. And you can just wipe it off with just like with a wet rag or something. But yeah, after a big project, it's probably time to change the needle anyway. Actually, I'm just looking, these two look super cool together. Like, this would be cool sewn together. I mean, I'm not going to do that, but I don't know, these pale colors with like these nice big open shapes and then like this really dense thing right next to it, that looks cool. I think that's kind of neat. Wonder if it looks like with something else next to it. That's crazy. Yeah, the black's maybe a little bit much, but these two next to each other I think are neat. Ugh, see, that's cool. It would be fun to... It'd be fun. I think like what my mom is thinking of doing, she did this, but on a larger scale. She used up all some fabric that she had from doing face masks. And she's thinking of just chopping the whole quilt, or like quilt top that she made up, or just the pieces. It's not technically a quilt top yet, but all the pieces that she sewed together, cutting them up into like perfect squares, and then sewing it together with sashing or something. But that's kind of like the same effect here. Like if we made everything a nice, all the same size, it would all of a sudden look like way more uniform. So we'd have like these busy pieces, but with these kind of less busy pieces, I think it would all come together really nice. Or even like a solid. We have this here yet. Like if this wasn't a quilt next to a solid like that, and then, you know, maybe another busy one is here, and then another solid, like there's an idea in there. Like that's pretty cool. I like that. Interesting. See, that's why I like putzing around like this. That's where ideas come from. But all right, I think we're going to stop there for the night. This is definitely one of my most relaxing things to do, is just sew these pieces together and see what happens, you know? Like little art pieces. But yeah. So great, you guys. I feel way happy that we finished another one. So here's our 2 blocks that we finished this week. Zoop, looking all cute. And of course, love making these. Here's how small like the pieces are. I just think it is so fun. Little mini art pieces. Just love it, love it. So I will set this aside for next time we need to play around for a few minutes when we have some time left over. And again, next week, you guys, we are going to be stitching. We're going to do some embroidery. We're going to be doing the Bride of Frankenstein's bouquet right here. I'll be stitching it on a light color just to see the difference, what the same floss colors look like, but on a light color. I think that'll be fun. I'll be showing you how to transfer the design, all of that. Even onto a dark fabric, I can show you how to do that. We'll do all of that on starting Monday. So Monday through Friday next week will be that, and then the week after that will be the new Aurifil block of the month, and that is up now. It was released yesterday, so you can check out the Aurifil blog. You can just Google Aurifil blog. It is auribuzz.com, and check out the October designer of the month there, and way at the bottom of that will be the free pattern that you can download, and we'll be doing that 2 weeks from now. So awesome. Have a fabulous weekend, everyone. Let me know if it snows by you too. We'll have to post a picture of the snow maybe, just so you can see. It was just opened the window and it was a big surprise that this morning. So awesome. I will see you on Monday, guys. Have a great evening. Good night.